Welcome to Tech Transformation with CGT and RIS News, where we explore the innovative tech strategies and trends in retail and consumer goods. I'm Lisa Johnston, Senior Editor at CGT, and in this episode, I'm talking with Tyler Wozny, Chief Digital Officer for Madison Reed. Madison Reed is a hair color brand and retailer that's using technology to do some pretty amazing things in personalization. So Tyler's here to talk with us to tell us a little bit about what they're doing, give us a look under the hood, and share some information about what they have planned. So Tyler, thanks so much for talking with me today. Get us started. Tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Madison Reed.
Absolutely, Lisa. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me and Madison Reed. So at Madison Reed, I'm the Chief Digital Officer. So my team consists of digital product managers, product designers, and our engineering and technology teams. And so we have that one team thinking end to end about our clients' digital experiences as they become aware of the brand, all the way through interacting with that, first quiz and first match of the right color and product, and then all the way through her subscription and retention with the brand. So it's a broad scope, but we have a lot of fun with it.
So I'm glad you mentioned the quizzes. You've been using technology really since your founding, whether it's through those quizzes or through chatbots. So for Madison Reed, where does technology sit within the business?
When Amy Errett founded Madison Reed in 2015, she strongly believed that technology was always going to play a core role in the company. No one had ever sold hair color online before, at least not very effectively. And so her hypothesis was that by applying technology and a great digital experience, we can build up the client's confidence to be able to select a hair color and give us the right information to help her choose, as well as all those other touch points throughout her journey. And so it started off with your basic website, and it's evolved dramatically over time with our color quiz, our pretty advanced algorithm that we use to match the client with her right color and product, as well as all the digital touch points we have, both while she's at home, while she's in her bathroom, and also while she's in our hair color bars, getting a service done.
I'm glad you mentioned confidence. Choosing hair color is obviously a lot different than choosing makeup or clothing online. When you get wrong, you can just take it off and change it one and the other. Not so much. So can you talk about how you're delivering on that promise to consumers, both from a tech aspect, and how are you communicating that with consumers?
Totally. This is the crux of the business. You can imagine a client hears about Madison Reed. It's a prestige hair color that typically she's only ever been able to get in a salon, and now she can get it at home as well as in our hair color bars. And so she's excited. She comes to our site. The ingredient story is fantastic. We have no ammonia, so it doesn't stink, and it's non-drip, so it doesn't create a mess. So the product's fantastic. And then all of a sudden she gets into it and she thinks, oh my gosh, what if my hair goes orange? Or what if it goes too warm? Or what if it doesn't cover my earrings?
Orange is a good color. Orange is probably not the worst color.
Right, good point. But if it's not what she wants, who knows, right? Or it's too dark. And all these questions start popping up. And so a big part of what my team thinks about is within that digital experience, what are all the ways that we can help build her confidence and reduce her fear? And that's really what the brand stands for. It's all about building confidence. And so there's a few ways we do that. I mean, in our hair color quiz, we're asking her questions that many women, even though they may have been coloring for many tens of years, have never been asked. If they've walked the shelves of Walgreens, there's no one there to help. So they kind of look at the box and see, oh yeah, that's about right. Let's try this. And when they're in their salon, their colorist is sort of takes one look at their hair and it's like, I have you. Like,
They do the work for you.
Like, don't worry about it, right? And so these questions about what texture is your hair, what color are your eyes, how long is your hair, what's your treated color, what's your natural color, like all these questions that she's never really been asked. And so through that process, we actually get her to feel more confident already because we give her the rightful impression that we know what we're talking about. We have master colorists working at Madison Reed that know exactly what to do with all the answers she gives us. And so what we've now done is built that brain of a master colorist into the algorithm that then provides her with the correct match. And then, further to that, we help her make sure. So, we use our augmented reality virtual try-on tools that says, okay, we've landed on your perfect match of Barolo brown or grape red, and we offer her the ability to try it on right then and there from her own home. And so we see that when people actually try on their hair color live, it increases conversion by like 30%. Mm-hmm. And so we're always trying to get in front of her to make sure that we're giving her all the tools she needs to feel confident and then check out and give it a try.
So we've seen augmented reality really ramp up during the use of the pandemic with a lot of different brands. You've been using augmented reality for several years. So as a chief digital officer, I want to get your take. In your view, how has the technology really progressed?
Yeah, I mean, 2 years, maybe more than that, 4 years ago, it was quite revolutionary. And actually at that time, I was at Sephora working on their virtual try-on, started with lip, eyeshadow. And, it was cool. And it was, for a lot of brands, kind of like a marketing moment, a splashy, exciting thing that, folks in the press might pick up. And I think what we've found over time is that the brands that have really kept it and evolved it are those where they really find a utility from it. The marketing moment has ended. And so for us, like I said, where we see such an improvement in conversion when people use it, we really see it as a tool. And so when we were onboarding that technology, something that we were very, very cognizant of is that it wasn't just for fun. It wasn't, hey, try on this random brown or this random red. The color that she tried on had to, as precisely as possible, match the color that she was going to receive if she actually used that product. And so we are very, very precise in how we use it. It's absolutely a tool. It's not sort of a fun Snapchat filter. It is a little fun. You can share it with your friends. You can share it with your family. But we want to make sure that it's as precise as possible so that she's getting the right color.
Snapchat's a good comparison. Where do you think using augmented reality makes sense? I mean, because you see it in a lot of places, it feels a bit gimmicky in some situations. So how do you think the industry is handling this right now? Do you think there's going to be a backlash on you don't need augmented reality for that these days?
Yeah, I think you're right. There's some folks like, I think of the IKEAs and the Home Depots that they use it for furniture. I think that's another case where it gets, pretty utilitarian. I think what's holding it back at this point is actually it's a hardware problem. And so we really just have our phones at our disposal to interact with augmented reality. And that's great, but that kind of limits the use cases. I know there's plenty of companies that are working on the hardware. And once we get to a point where it's much smaller, I'm thinking glasses or even contact lenses, that's when I think augmented reality is going to make the big leap for our society. Until then, we're going to keep on improving the ability to do it and making it as precise as possible. And then we're also planning to bring it into our stores. And so we have been very focused on what the digital experience looks like going from home to store. As you may imagine, our clients quite often come into the store, like a new store opens in Santa Monica, and she walks in and she says, "Hey, I was matched with this color. Is this right?" And so our colorists are there to provide that in-person help. And we've installed these human-sized screens in our hair color bars, which are really cool, that today allows you to play with our different shades and our different products and our different routines. And shortly, it will also allow you to try on those colors from the hair color bar so that you can either take a box home with you, or you can book a time to do a service to have that color put on you live.
That's very cool. So it's really building in another layer of confidence, right? To just, if you want to have the stylist check it out and make sure, yes, no, that's actually what you want. And that's actually what you're going to get.
Exactly right. And we've seen a huge amount of engagement on those screens within the stores. Again, we're providing her with the tools she needs to make the right decision. And we're trying to reduce the amount of kind of gimmicky stuff, to your point, that's on there.
I have nothing really against the gimmick. I think it's fun to see what can happen, but maybe not with hair color.
Totally.